Didi, your eyes are pretty.
Thank you, baby.
What color are they today? They green. What's up, you guys? I'm KV.
And I'm AJ.
And we're Almighty in Vendetta.
That's right. Woo! So today we're gonna talk about communication in your relationships. It's very important, you know, if you don't communicate, you know, then how will your spouse know how you feel about things? And just because communication doesn't have to always necessarily mean something bad, you know, people communicate for good things, bad things, happy things, and sad things. Communication is something that we need as a whole. You see, whole. First, I want to start off with saying, like, if you have a partner that has had a hard time communicating, first thing you got to do as a person who can communicate, you have to be understanding. When I say understanding is you just have to basically like put yourself in their shoes. If you're just thinking like in your shoes, like all of the time, you won't be able to understand them and relate to them. And when they're trying to communicate with you, you're going to be judgmental.
You have to be open-minded.
Yeah, you have to be open-minded. Yeah.
And not closed-minded. Isn't that right, sweetheart?
See, we not coming with shade and pettiness.
I'm not throwing shade.
Look at your face, my y'all. She throwing shade. She's throwing shade. I feel like if you're not open-minded and you're closed-minded, your relationship is going to be closed. And
there's going to be a lot of hidden things. There's going to be a lot of hidden emotions and feelings.
Yeah. You want your partner to be able to come to you and be able to express, you know, everything. Like, it's not even just in my current relationship with Bae. You know, even in some of my past relationships, you know, I realized where I really wasn't, you know, hearing my partner out. And, you know, a lot of times they couldn't explain, you know, how they felt. So they act out in other ways that would just create more chaos, all because they feel like they couldn't talk to me or because they feel like I was judgmental. So it's just something, you know, you definitely want to work on so your relationship can definitely be the best relationship.
Okay, so how do you work on communication skills with your partner then?
Let me get to that, because Bae is the one that has a hard time communicating. You know, I had issues with listening and being open-minded.
I know I have communication problems.
So you're
communication problems. And I can accept the fact that I have communication problems, and I've also, you know, let you know as my partner that I have terrible communication problems. I don't like to express my feelings. You got my lipstick on you.
Yeah.
I understand, like, I know for a fact that I have communication problems. That's something that I have to work on within myself personally and everything. My question to you, AJ, is how do you productively work on communicating with your partner?
So one thing I would say that you can do to help definitely open those communication funnels and lines is, for once, I feel like you can do exercises, you know, to work on there. So one exercise that you could possibly do is that, this is just my example of an exercise. You may have something in your head that might better suit you and your spouse.
If you do,
so you can drop them below. If you have any awesome communication ideas that you think that can help you communicate with your partner or spouse, and maybe you've even experienced them, tried them yourself, and they've been successful, you can definitely drop them below. So, yeah, wind it back. So, I definitely think that you can try exercises with your spouse. You can just use different scenarios and approach those scenarios how, if they were actually happening in your relationship, how would you approach them? And then you never know, that scenario that you're playing over and acting out with your spouse, that scenario can actually come into play. I know a lot of times some people feel better writing stuff down, you know. So a lot of people, they can't communicate with their mouth, but they can communicate with their words, writing them down.
I used to write letters because, you know, my past relationships, I did, like I said, I don't really like coming out, and sometimes it's hard for me to really just express myself and everything. So I used to like write letters. They might be a little short little paragraph, or it might be a long ass speech, but you know, it gives you that room to write everything down, everything that you're feeling. Give it to your partner, and if they read it, they'll understand where you're coming from. You'll know if they don't read it.
Yeah,
because they
won't understand it. They won't change their ways.
Nope.
So you're like, oh, you didn't read that letter at all.
There's no way that you read that.
No way you read that letter, because if you did, you wouldn't be doing the same thing you're doing now.
And you wouldn't be asking me questions because I answered it all in the letter.
Right. So when you're writing down your emotions, like, you just let everything. There's nobody there to interrupt you. There's nobody there to stop you. There's nobody there to contradict what you're saying. You know, you just let all your raw emotions and feelings out on the paper, and just let it bleed out in ink on the paper.
Right. Don't use pencil, because then you get the erase, and I don't want to say it like that. Use pen.
Use pen, and what you write is what you meant to say.
I feel like a simple one that people look over all the time is actually just sitting there and listening, having a conversation, having a real conversation with their spouse, where they, you know, hey, babe, let's sit down and talk, babe. I think we need to have a conversation. And I say how I feel, and you listen, and then you say how you feel, and I listen. And there's no cutting off, butting in. I don't need your 2 cents or your opinion about what I'm saying, because this is how I'm feeling. I feel like that's a strong one that people look over so much.
So to add to that, also, when you have your spotlight to say your half and say your end, you have to really like listen to what your partner's saying as well, because you know, some people don't listen, and they just like, oh, babe's in one of her moods again, and she's just talking, but she's not, you know. So if you definitely don't listen and try to understand, you know, it won't be progress after the conversation. And
there won't be.
That's pointless. You're just defeating the purpose of, you know, you having your time to speak your mind, and he or she is having their time to speak their mind. But if you really want to be with that person, like you say, you want to be with them, you're going to try to have progress, you're going to try to progress in their relationship, you're going to try to be better people in their relationship, and also better people for yourselves makes better people for each other.
Relationships aren't perfect. Like, even me and baby having those days where I want to be right and she want to be right, and I'm yelling over her and she's yelling over me, and it's like everything's getting said, but nothing's getting heard. And that's where most problems lie, because I could spill out my whole heart to you, but you didn't hear what I said, and I didn't get what you said, because we're both talking at the same time.
Well, that'll be it for our first video. Make sure you tune in. We're going to try to do at least 3 videos a week. Oh my God, we're going to try. We're new, we're just starting out, and we're really trying to get our fan base up. So make sure you guys subscribe. If you have any topics or ideas that you do want to drop down below in the comment section down there, you know where it's at, because I know a lot of people like to talk noise down there, so you know. So go down there, leave your comments. You know, if you just want to say, hey, what's up, I really like your first YouTube video, whatever you want to say that brightens our day.
Oh yeah,
and yours.
Follow us on Instagram.
Right.
At Almighty Vendetta. We'll definitely have that link too as well.
Alrighty, guys.
Till next time.
Peace out.